Hi, Team Umoja. Today what we're going to talk about is looking at our introduction paragraph for your Walk to Moons theme essay. The very first thing you want to do when you are looking at your introduction paragraph is you want to look at your thesis statement, okay? Because there was a couple choices that you had to make or could make in terms of writing this essay. First, you had to choose a theme. Don't judge a person until you've walked a mile in their shoes, or everyone has their own agenda, okay? It's important that you know this before you start writing your introduction because you have to explain that at some point, okay? The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at Sal and then her shared experience with Phoebe. And then the important part, and this is also dependent on the person, are you having, or is your essay going to be about how Sal's attitude changes toward Mrs. Cadaver or changes toward her mother? It is important that you make a decision on this pretty quickly so that you know what background knowledge you need to include, okay? You were given this graphic organizer by your English teacher, okay? You are to provide a lead-in. You should be providing the story's title, which is Walk to Moons, and Sharon Creech, who is the author, okay? You then need to briefly introduce what the story is about, okay? You have to explain who Sal is, give a little bit of context on what she was doing in the book, figure out a way to connect her with Phoebe, and if you chose her mother, you need to briefly explain that, as well as briefly explain Mrs. Cadaver if that was the one that you chose. The general background information on the theme is where you put the theme in your own words, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to explain how it applies to real life, not the book. If you start talking about the book in this section, I would like you to erase that, and I would like you to add in just a general statement of how the theme can apply to anywhere in the world. Last but not least, you need to write your thesis statement, okay? It's a standard introduction, okay? We've done that already in class. Your thesis statement was probably provided by your English teacher, but we do have an example provided just in case. Okay, your final product should look like this. You're going to notice that the intro is relatively short. Your background knowledge doesn't include too much information. This one only has one sentence, but I do feel it would be stronger if you included background knowledge on Sal, her mother, or Mrs. Cadaver, and Phoebe. The blue is the most important part, and this is where you're introducing the theme. You want to make sure that you fully develop the theme, explain what it means in your own words, and then how it can apply to anywhere, not the book, though, okay? Last but not least, you need to provide your thesis statement, okay? Yours is relatively short compared to some of the other intros that we would like you to write, but this is a standard introduction. Yours should look like this. My last little tidbit of advice would be try to incorporate one of the tier 2 words. There's no point in learning 36 tier 2 words this year if you don't actually use them. So take out that list that was brainstormed, okay, and see if you can incorporate it somehow, okay? All right, good luck. If you need any help, happy writing.